Well, hello again. This time, I am. I'm going to call this a case study. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's a case or anything like that. But I dropped into a match, and I just wanted to share this because I think it's kind of important for anybody that's looking to really get ahead in champions, right? Anybody, and even for people where I am, it's it can be kind of an important thing to take note of. Okay, so let's just get this rolling. And now basically all I end up doing really here is I drop one bot. But I noticed something. So I got rid of my Tesla Blaze and replaced it with this one here. Um, you know, I can have my moments with it, but and I may bring it back, and I may bring it back because of this right here, this very thing right here. Um, One of the things that I've gotten very conscious of lately is the Titan bar. So after two beacons, essentially what you can get your Titan bar to is about 1/3. Uh, Now, if you look at the number of other beacons that get picked up after that, and damage done, kills, you can see it goes up kind of slow. I have to say that was a hell of a blast. That guy threw me like I've not been thrown in a long time. Usually, in order for me to get a bot toss like that, it's like something like a Samjack, right? Or a Demeter, or something that floats. You know what I'm saying? And those things just go flying. But to see this thing go flying, I was like, holy cow! That's why I just rolled with it. I was like, oh, I'm not even gonna try to fight that. Holy. Now this is technically what I consider right now, and we'll see after after the rebalance comes into play. Um, this is the weakest of my blazes. Uh, I still think it's a really good bot. I may be putting it back to Tesla, right? And because look at right now, um, we're sitting here, and Titan bars not even 3/4 yet. And what we'll see here is, at this point, I'm watching my Titan bar. I'm watching my Titan bar. Just trying to get control of things. Not that you can have a lot of control, but just trying to, we have these beacons. We get in here. Not trying to move forward at this point. Just trying to kind of establish home. And at this point, we have 4 beacons, right? And my Titan bar is full. So now I'm moving forward saying, hey, it's time to drop the Titan. Now I want you to see what happened here. Just before I got to here, it's when I started saying I need to drop my Titan, right? Right there, I'm looking around, I've got this. And I take this guy down, one last one, and I look around. 1, 2, 3. Four Titans. 3 minutes. 4 Titans. 3 minutes. This is how matches are won and lost. And the reason I bring this up is because, for the longest time, I considered dropping a Titan early kind of I'm not going to say a moral issue. It's not like morals and values, but I did think of it as kind of cheesy, right? Like, yeah, you're gonna go up and you're gonna have to, you do that so that you don't have to have a real fight, right? You drop that Titan fast so that you can go and beat up on little robots with it and blah blah blah. But the thing about it is, 3 minutes. 3 minutes is about the time right now when it doesn't matter what build I have. If I get 3 minutes of uninterrupted combat, meaning I don't get my bot killed or whatever, and even if I get my bot killed, about 3 minutes or so, right around there, I'm going to be able to drop a Titan. And that's without pushing it, right? If I put the Tesla build on here, I have been able to drop them in under a minute. Now I suppose I could put the skill on the Titan that allows it, especially if you do it on an ultimate Titan, that allows it to drop faster, right? Builds quicker, whatever the case is. I forget what the terminology is. You know what I'm talking about. It's like 10% bonus on top of being able to drop. So, at that point, you can get those things down in less than 45 seconds. That's really important. That's really important. Now, I don't like doing the 10% thing or whatever because I usually think there's a skill that's more valuable than that. But even still, if I run the Tesla version of this, it is very common for me to be able to get a drop in a minute and a half or less. And under a minute is not unreasonable, but a minute and a half to under a minute without crazy perfect circumstances. So, and we're about to see why, because 1, 2, 3, 4, one of these guys go down, he'll bring it up, they'll have 5 of them. Now I'm capable of dropping mine right now. I could have dropped it before my last kill. I decided to come up here and take a look around it and push, because I figure if he goes down, then I drop. Good to go. Now I do have the ultimate Nodens, and I do have it with the ultimate weapons it came with, and everything is, of course, been given the appropriate bump. Amongst other things, the thing about it is, though, is if I drop a single Titan, it doesn't matter how good I am if there are 4 or 5 other Titans on the field, because my team cannot effectively help me. Not in that situation, right? So I go down and I look and I'm like, okay. And I get ready and I'm like, well, let's just wait a minute. Do I have a team to drop with me? And look, nothing. Not a single Titan anywhere. So what are you going to do? Right? Do I drop a Titan and just self-sacrifice? I wasn't feeling it. And see, the thing of it is now, and you can just watch this kind of play out. The 5th Titan on the other side dropped. I thought about dropping again. I thought about dropping, but I was like, they're not dropping anything. They're not dropping any Titans. We get one guy right there, and he drops. Let's be straightforward about this. What is a very weak Titan right now? Very soft. Can't stand up. I couldn't keep that thing alive against these other ones. And what else do we get? This is why it's important. Okay, there's number 2. You see, and this is why it's important. You got to be able to do that. If you want to be able to get ahead in champions, like to actually get ahead, be meaningful, be a real battler out there. 3 minutes. If you're not dropping or capable of dropping so that it becomes a decision for you, capable of dropping your Titan in 3 minutes or less, and that's long. There's a lot of times I see people dropping Titans at about a minute and a half or less. Um, 3 minutes is your marker. If 4 minutes and you are the snail in the group, you're behind and you might get overwhelmed, right? 5 minutes, 6 minutes, uh, in what I would consider proper champion play, you're not really competitive, right? Unless it's a battle of linked Delilas and stuff, you know what I mean? Everybody's just sitting out there. But even then, yeah, if you ran up against a team of those and your team dropped 4+ Titans, 3 minutes or less, they're not going to last. You'll just mow them down. And the thing of it is too is you can go to the end of the match and you can look at the tail of the tape. And if you just looked at this, right here and said, oh, you know, this is probably the reason why, oh, we were down one guy. If you just looked at the tail of the tape, but that's not accurate, right? Because you can see all of this and this all looks good, but when you saw the gameplay, you realize that only 2 Titans dropped. So it doesn't matter that this guy did 6 million or 5 million or 3 million, right? There was no, once 5 of these Titans went down, the battle was over. Because one guy dropped one, and then, you know, the other one a little later, and that was it. That was all she wrote. And you could say that, I could have dropped one. Sure. I would have dropped the first one down, and they would have ganged up on me, and that second guy would have dropped, and he wouldn't have been able to do a darn thing. Not to help me, not with multiple people on me. And they would have just switched over to him, and the difference in that would have just been whether or not I got higher up on the board. So rather than taking the 6-point hit that I took here, the negative 6 points, I would have been higher. And I thought about that, but when I was watching this, I just really wanted to share this because it's important. If you want to be really competitive, I don't mean like hyper competitive. If you want to be hyper competitive, you got to get under a minute. You got to be able to do it under a minute. Minute and a half on the long side. If you want to just be competitive in a regular rando match at the mid level, 3 minutes. If you are not dropping your Titan or just about to drop your Titan or capable of dropping it and you're just choosing not to, right? Right around that 3-minute mark, we'll be kind. 3 minutes and 15 seconds, right? That's something you have to work on, right? Hey, there you go. Think of it as the 3 and 3. You need to average over 3 million damage, regardless of outcome, and you need to be able to drop your Titan in just over 3 minutes. Both of those things right there will take a person up the ranks. It'll keep them moving because there's a lot of people that cannot do that. That does mean that you may have to take a beating with a build you're uncomfortable with for a while. That's what I was doing and still do. But sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and eat it for a while in order to make the necessary gains. So, food for thought. food for thought. Get those titans down, get them charged and get them down. Get your average damage up. A little over 3 million is the minimum in order to really keep moving forward. And once you can do that, more will come. It's kind of, think of it this way. That's kind of your low hurdle for Champions League. You know, the people that are getting over, say, 5,600 consistently are people that are meeting those requirements right there. And the people that aren't typically are not hitting that kind of an average damage and are typically not dropping their titans real fast. Yeah, I know. I have work to do too. Um, but I don't mind. It's the nature of the beast, right? I'm not sure I'm really looking for. I was looking at that new uh, alligator or crocodile robot, and not so much that. I think that's kind of silly looking myself. Some people think it's cool. I think it's kind of silly looking with the little tail on the back. But the weapon that came with it, one big single shot with a 5-second reload and kind of a slow lob at that, right? You're going to have to lead your targets kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to that. I was trying to think of what would be a better weapon on that bot. Better weapon set up on that bot than that, because I don't see that as being real friendly for my playstyle. Well, anyways, got off tangent there. Back on tangent. You saw what you saw. Make of it what you will. I'm just throwing out my opinion on the matter and what I personally am working for. And do with it what you will. At any rate, I hope you're having a great day. And as always, take care out there, people.